Sometimes it's good to just dance.
Welcome to the Good Stuff Family Podcast. I'm Dawn Kendrick, and I am so glad you're here. These are stories from the perspective of a news reporter on a next level assignment. Everyone has a story. Stories of hope, resilience, and how we believe God weaves people, relationships, opportunities, all of it for good. For many of us, faith leads our steps, others not so much. But that is what makes this growing Good Stuff family great. We know the journey is better together. Welcome to the family.
Got a suggestion. Sometimes it's good to just dance. Come along.
Good morning. Here we are, back for the best part of waking up, we say, is waking up. We put 2 feet on the floor in gratitude and take on the day. And it's when we have a chance to kind of gather around what we call the virtual gratitude table and talk about stories that uplifted and encouraged us this week, and stories that are that are coming up for previews. And we're grateful in the face of all of it, even in the really moments. And always with me on these Friday mornings, my good friend, good stuff dude, Rich Smith. Good morning, sunshine.
Good morning, Dawn, and good morning, everybody. Hope everyone's doing a great Friday morning. I'm so excited. We have Jan, who's already saying good morning and joining us. We have Kellyanne as well. Thanks for joining us, folks. We're going to make it a good weekend, right?
It's going to be a great weekend. But I wanted to talk today about I'll be heading to Mizzou, actually, shortly after this is over, heading to the University of Missouri for homecoming. Wait, do you still have my mic, Rich?
Yep, I have you.
Oh, okay. I think it might have switched to the computer, but that's cool. We'll just keep that. Yeah. So this weekend is the University of Missouri homecoming. So I'm super looking forward to heading back, connecting with people. That whole, when we talk about this often here, that a lot of times we say, oh, we'll get together, and then we don't. And when we are able to pull it off, like, I'm really looking forward to it, to celebrating these people from my past that, getting caught up. And that's what I'm grateful for. What about you?
Yeah, I have a reunion coming up next month myself. It's my 30th high school reunion, and I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody who comes back.
They should just call those things "Nobody's Getting Any Younger."
Right.
Seriously. Okay, so in keeping a theme here, I also want to talk about both of us, as well as our friend Dennis Castiglione, who we'll bring on in a minute here, big fans of the rescue pets, cats and dogs. And my faithful buddy friend, Leonardo, I called him Leonardo, but let me show this little video so you kind of get a feel for what a good sport this little buddy was. Hang on one second. Leonardo, M-I-Z. M-I-Z. M-I-Z, buddy. It's such a good sport. Because we're the Tigers, the Mizzou Tigers, and M-I-Z-Z-O-U, Oh, that's the tail that I put in my trunk when I drive to homecoming. And I'm like, and he's such a good sport. I send it to friends of mine. They're like, that ain't right. It ain't right. The poor guy. But yeah, so that was just taken a couple weeks ago, Rich. He was fine. Well, we thought he was fine. He was eating less and less. And so on Monday, that sweet baby, my Leonardo, crossed the Rainbow Bridge. And I thought today this was not when he crossed. This was, taken a few days before when he was sleeping. But I thought today we could just talk about the gratitude that we have for our faithful furry buddy friends, just to start this segment off. Rich, you up for that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I love our furry friends.
And the rescue, oh my God, the rescue ones are so near and dear to my heart. And that's what Leonardo was. I'll tell his quick backstory, and then we're going to show your babies. So our friend is a veterinarian, and someone had dropped him off, I think almost 10 years ago, and said, he needs to be put to sleep. He's throwing up. And our friend Scott was like, no, I don't think so. Let's try this prescription diet. It's expensive, but it sometimes helps their tummies, and they didn't want to do that. They had new carpet, whatever. So he keeps him as the clinic cat. And then I meet him and I'm like, oh, I didn't have any kitties or dogs. And I'm like, I'll adopt them. So for 3 months, checking in with him about Leonardo, and we go to dinner, and my friend T's like, is the cat's name Leonardo or is it Lorenzo? I thought it was Lorenzo. I said, Scott, is it Leonardo or Lorenzo? I go, I've been calling him Lorenzo for like 3 months. Well, he's like, starts with the L, ends with the O. Yes, it's Lorenzo, but potato. He's eating the good food and he's in a good home. So his official name at the vet now is Leonardo Lorenzo Potahto DiCATbrio. That was his name.
I
The
love it.
unwanted cat, dumped off, had at least 10 years left of just faithful buddy friend. Like, I don't know how else to say it. And whoa, when they're gone, Lord have mercy. And you're grateful for having them, but it's hard. You've done it before. You've done it. You've had to do it, Rich, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So on this discussion today, we are celebrating in gratitude all of the good stuff that we get from our pets. Particularly the rescues are near and dear to our heart. This is how loud this sweet baby was purring even just a day or two before he passed. Can you hear that? Yeah. He's such a good boy. But you could tell he didn't feel well. So,
Yeah.
but to the end, like it's like they spend, for me, it's been my experience, they spend their lives thanking you for saving theirs. Almost like they know. I know that's crazy, but yeah, what do you think, Rich?
Oh, absolutely. We had a little kitten when Christy and I first started dating that would perch on my shoulder. She was so small that she would actually climb up my shirt and sit on my shoulder, and while I walked around the apartment
Oh,
to get an aerial view. That was Zoe. That was our
show us
first
your
pet
kitty now.
together. Yes, this is Luna. She was a rescue, and this woman had dedicated all of her time. She must have had about 50 kittens. So we saw Luna she's a blue Russian, and we saw her on the website, and I don't know how we found her amongst all these cats that were there, but it was just absolutely, but she is 100% a people cat. Like, she's always on a person. She's like, this is her on me again. Like, you just kind of lay down and
Oh, so sweet.
yeah, she's very,
And you got Rosie, sweetest Rosie. I love that
oh
baby.
yeah.
Look at her. Look at her.
Yeah, she's another one. I know she always gets concerned when I'm on my meetings or when we're streaming. I don't know where she is right now because normally she's sitting right by me, going, "Are you okay? Why are you talking to that thing?"
Right. That's her. She assumes her spot on the recliner, you said, as soon as you get your coffee. I haven't
Yep.
had coffee yet today, by the way.
Yep. So that's our little Rosie.
Oh, I love her so much. And we had the opportunity actually to do a great story that'll be running on Monday. And I thought we want to talk a little bit about it today. And it's perfect to bring in Dennis Castiglione right now. Let me see, get rid of where. Oh, there she is. Oh, we're both doing it. Okay, here we go. I'm bringing them in.
Okay.
One moment, please. Good morning, sunshine.
Why, there I am. How are you this morning?
It's magic. Yeah, it's a great transition because you also have
Yeah.
some great rescue kitties. Who's this?
Oh, yeah. That's Cleo Fonte, who's called Cleo for short. And
Oh,
Cleo Fonte is named after my grandfather, which probably has him turning in his grave. But he is a quick story on Cleo. He was the last of a litter that was dropped off at Rescue Village in a box at the front door. They had actually, the people that dropped them off had taken the plate off their car so you couldn't tell who had dropped them. And they all had respiratory issues, and his caused a scarring to his left eye. So he's partially blind in the left eye, and because of that, that kind of look that he had, everyone else was picked. So when we were there looking for a kitten, he was the last one there. So we said, well, let's go see him. And he was purring and reaching through the cage and what have you. So we took him into the to the visitation room and sat on the bench, and he jumped right up on the bench next to us. And I turned to Susie and said, "Yeah, he's coming home with us." There's
You
just no
kinda.
way. So it
Rich,
was
you
one of
know
those,
that too.
yeah, one of those
Oh yeah.
underdog stories. Like, oh my gosh, how can
Ah,
we
you
not
said
take him
underdog.
home? Yeah, it really is true. So, and we brought him in. We brought him in because our dog of 16 years was nearing the end of his life, and we wanted we knew there was going to be a gap there in our lives,
Mhm.
and we also felt that our other cat, Lucien, could use a playmate. And the folks at Rescue Village, here's Lulu. So our friends at Rescue Village said, well, if you've got an adult cat, you probably got to bring a kitten in because maybe she'll have this mothering instinct. Yeah, no, she's very, very territorial. They will coexist, but they sure don't cuddle together. I mean, there's usually a fight ensuing somewhere, or they'll chase anyway. That's the closest they get to playing together. But Lulu was brought in during COVID. Rescue Village. I've got a really good relationship with the folks there, and they called me and said, "Hey, we have to foster 56 animals overnight. Would you be willing to take an animal for us?" And our youngest son Giovanni said, "Oh, I always wanted a cat. Maybe the cat will kind of be mine." And so we said, "Yeah." So we took in Lulu, and they call them failures, right? The foster failure, but
Foster fail,
we said
yeah.
no, that's not an adoption win for us. I mean, it
Adoption
was
win. Exactly.
it
And
was it was love immediately, and of course Lulu didn't like Nico either, so um, so she became the queen of the house pretty quickly, and she's actually she was rescued from the streets of Mobile, Alabama, and was brought north to Rescue Village with a number of other cats and dogs because they were looking for a shelter that had a no-kill policy.
Mhm.
So she had only been there a day or two before we got the call because COVID meant they had to send them all home,
Yeah.
send them somewhere. So that's how we wound up with her. And she's a little more docile than Cleo is. Cleo just he is everywhere, and
This little
I
guy
thought,
wasn't super he wasn't super friendly with other cats. See, he had,
uh,
like, that little ear, we called it crinkle ear. Something had happened, either he'd been
yeah,
attacked or someone clipped it, whatever, and he had this kinda, like, overbite you can't see. They called it Jay Leno chin. But we had the little neighbor cat, Maxie, who came over. He's the indoor outdoor, he has claws, and they warmed up to each other. Maxie mostly would just come in like he owned the place. Like if the screen door, we'd open it, he'd come and go, give him treats. And honestly, I came home that day from that awful, it's so hard. Like you're doing the right thing, but oh
yeah,
Lord, he was so old and skinny and his stomach had swollen. He had the x-ray showed it was the kindest thing you could do. But again, awful, awful.
it's
I
hard,
come
so
home
hard.
and that Maxie hadn't been over in a while because Leonardo hangs out on the patio. And I think he kind of deferred to the old crotchety man who maybe they know is like not feeling well. And sure enough, there he is at the like at the back door. I said, "Did Leonardo come tell you to come over and tell you I'm sorry for being a cranky pants?" Like, it was just too weird that he showed up right at my house on, less than an hour after I said goodbye. But I happened to, yeah, that's it. Who rescued who? That's it. And I happen to fully subscribe to that because you guys know, like Rich, how has Rosie ended up rescuing you? Would you say?
Oh, all the time. And we got her during COVID, and
Oh,
just
you
so
got her
we had
too.
a
Okay, both of
we
you.
got her
Okay.
during COVID, yeah,
Uh-huh.
and we got her just to have someone else to bring into the house and just kind of be around. We figured that was a great time to get a pet, and Christy worked from home, so give her someone to visit with when the rest of us had to go back to our daily routines. And now that I'm part-time work from home, it's wonderful. Like I love having I would take her to work with me if I could.
I know. Some places let you. Yeah, our friend Ryan, who was part of a Good Stuff story we did, I know his doggy is his best friend too. And I see on social media how seriously that bond, unless you've known it, you won't get it, and we don't expect you to. But best buddy friends, they are. They just are. And so since we have our friend Dennis Castiglione, and speaking of good stuff that we're grateful for, perfect little tie-in here, a little transition, as we would say. This man has started what's called Power of Harmony, and we'll be showing, the story will drop on this Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. But I'll pull up some of these visual. It's basically, tell us, Dennis, how it's helping youth behind bars.
Well, it gives them it's a music program for incarcerated youth. We're in 5 states. I'm in 3 states, 5 facilities, and we give them an opportunity to sing, to form ensembles so they can perform within the facility. We're bringing outside professional performers to come in and do concerts for them, and we use music as a therapeutic means of bringing some peace into their lives and giving them a chance to express themselves creatively. So it's been, we started it in 2019. We carried on through COVID remotely, and became face to face when we could get into the facilities. And so we're serving 5 different facilities in 3 states right now.
This is sorry, I popped the cat up there again. This
That's
is
Luna. She
actually
always
in
winds up
Ohio.
getting in
So
there.
yeah, the fact that you've gotten into all the Ohio ones, you already are in Gatesville, and these other states are taking notice because it's about purpose, right? It's about repurposed lives, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I did speak to one of the gentlemen that we've worked with in the inside and is now out. Spoke to him yesterday, and he talked quite a bit about the program because we had a chance to. He was sad that he couldn't join us yesterday, so we just talked about what reentry is like. And he said, seriously, music is still saving me right now. I'm down because he had surgery on his knee, so he's not super mobile right now, and he wants to get into a full-time job. I can't jump on something yet until he can actually be mobile and do so. So kind of licking his wounds with that, but he said, I'm still playing my music, and he's very proud of the number of visits he's had to his latest video. So he's pretty pumped about that. So
Is that X you're talking about?
Yep, exactly, Xavier, right? Yeah.
Let's show. We have this little clip. What it means for him.
Our goal is to help them continue making music on the outside by staying engaged with them and finding opportunities to channel their energy and creativity.
I would have probably ended up in crime, drugs, everything else, money, etc. But now, I realized how important music was and how far it can carry me.
There it is.
Yeah. Yep. No doubt. No doubt.
And I'm going to show this one too, because this is part of that video that you have on your webpage. Let's show people if they, I'm going to put this up again. This is where they can find you. It's harmonyfoundation.org/power-of-harmony if you're listening in podcast mode. And we'll put this is the QR code too, that if you guys want to grab that and donate directly, because that's in fact what it takes to grow to these places that are noticing you and are noticing what you're doing and want to be part of it. But that is a huge component right now, is fundraising. Let's show one more clip. Okay, Dennis, and then we're going to come back.
Sure.
It's so well done. And we can actually hear Xavier singing.
The important thing is that they walk away from the session feeling better.
I got a voice to me. I'm blessed for real. I'm blessed.
Life is rough, it's what makes you tough. Now, pick yourself back up, show them what's up. Growing up.
The music is very healing. It's an emotional regulation activity. It helps with self-image, stress relief, even cognitive function that can lead to improved memory and learning skills.
It's an outlet but it's also it fits right into the soothing, to the skills that we're trying to teach kids. That music is something that can really soothe the soul and bring you down, regulate you, and so we love it.
And it's really opened my eyes to kind of the impact that music can have on every single person, regardless of musical ability and regardless of prior knowledge or education, or where they are in life. So it's been a really wonderful thing.
I know you're so proud. I can see it in your face.
Oh yeah, I mean, not only of the program, but our instructors. None of them had been into facilities before I brought them into the program. And some are they're trained and certified professional educators. Others are just folks that are donating their time, that want to be a part of it all. And to watch their transformation while the youth are, I mean, we'll go out high-fiving ourselves because we see or hear something that was transformative, that that confirmed for us that we're doing the right thing for the right reason, for the right people. And it really, that's, I'd say every session I go into, I get that feeling. Not that they don't frustrate me sometimes, but you realize that this is what we need to be doing. There's no question that this is important work we're doing, and it's appreciated by the youth that we work with, as well as the facilities that we work in. So, we're happy about it.
Put this up here again. So, just quickly, if people want to help out, why should they?
Well, we pay all of our instructors both a stipend for the sessions as well as their travel to and from the facility. Some drive well over an hour to get to the facility, and we also pay our performers that come in and provide concerts. So, the cost per facility is about $30,000 a year. So, the 5 facilities we have right now is $150,000 a year, and we have 6 states kind of sitting in the wings, waiting for us to raise the funds so that we can add facilities in their states. And actually, there are 6 facilities in Texas that I think have a pretty clear path to. But that's a pretty tall order. We'll see what happens. The Gainesville people are really bragging on us, and the others are chomping at the bit to add us. So let's see what happens. Yeah.
It occurs to me, obviously, we had the transition. All of us are rescue animals, so that was perfect to bring you in. But now we take it back a step, and Rich is also a big fan of music. And this is like on Sesame Street. One of these things is not like the other, because I can't sing for anything. Both of you are talented, practiced singers. It just hits me, Rich.
Yeah, music's always been a part of my life. It's my go-to. You're spot on, Dennis, when you talk about how to relieve stress and just kind of bring balance to things. I think I came out of the womb singing, and never stopped. Like, it's always been a part of my life in some way, shape, or form. And it's I have all of my children at this point in time play a musical instrument, and I have one who's studying musical theater in college, and she was just cast in her first musical where it opens next week. We're so excited. So
Oh,
yeah, I really applaud what you're doing, because you're absolutely spot on. It just brings so much balance and peace to our lives. And our friend Lynette will be the first one to tell you, Dawn, that when you are having trouble reaching somebody in terms of a message, putting it into a song gets into the neuroreceptors of the brain first and kind of infiltrates whatever other noise is blocking you from receiving the message. So yeah, it's great. It's a wonderful program.
Thank you.
And Lynette and Rich do so much good stuff through ITC for kids who are living with autism. We say AWE, autism. We're in awe of their superpower. So to hear that, see, that wasn't scripted at all, obviously, but God weaves, and maybe someone needed to hear that hope for kids who are thriving in spite of autism and are awesome because of it. And that message of music, that's super cool. And we, again, unscripted, but you come around the gratitude table, and somehow that's how it always works out. Like, people woven together for good. So I want to thank you so much, Dennis. Again, we're going to be running that story on the power of harmony. That's going to drop on Monday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern. That's 6 Central. And you can see more. We can see more that way. So thank you for all you do.
Great.
Thank you for
Oh,
joining
thank you.
me. Is there anything
Yeah,
else you want to
pleasure.
add?
No, just thrilled to be back with you again, and Rich, applaud what you do as well. That's amazing stuff. Great to be with you this morning.
No, same here. Thanks, Dennis.
You bet.
Rich, anything else from you today? Any thoughts as we head out?
No, I think it's been a very plugged in show, as you would say.
Could have happened. And I'll just close it with this, that, this sweet little fur baby, if you haven't tried rescue, I can tell you from a place of grief still, but gratitude, grief and gratitude. So often they go hand in hand, really. The reason we grieve is because we're so grateful for the rescue pet, in my case, that passed. So there he is. And I would submit also that, so he's gone. So there's a big change. There's a big change in that he's missing, but fall is clearly in the air here, y'all. And it's a beautiful reminder that change can be beautiful. Can I get an amen, Rich?
Amen.
Amen. So whatever you're up against, and even if it's grief, I would say consider what it is that the gratitude for what it is that you're grieving. It's a catch-22, but that's where I'm staying focused on the good that we had in him. And maybe, hold on, I wanted to go out on this one picture. Oh, here we're gonna lighten it up a bit to go out. Ready? That says, if you're listening in podcast mode, it looks like Leonardo from behind. I found the key to happiness. Surround yourself with animals and stay away from idiots.
There you go.
As I was getting way too deep and philosophical, I think that's a good place to wrap it up. I love you both, and thank you. And we would just remind anyone listening to do what Dennis Castiglione does, what Rich Smith does consistently, to see the good in others and be the good for them. It's not hard, you guys. On your mark, get set.
Sometimes it's good to just dance.
You've been listening to Don Kendrick's The Good Stuff Family Podcast. If you found inspiration here, would you click subscribe, follow, share as we grow our Good Stuff family tree? Check out thegoodstufffamily.com for links to all our social media platforms and for how you or your business could sponsor a story. The Good Stuff Family, reaching and touching hearts around the world by weaving families together one story at a time. On your mark, get set, let's go.
Well, I got a suggestion. Sometimes it's good to just dance. Come along